What's up guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to unclog a bathroom sink drain without a snake or any tools other than a pair of pliers. When you have a plumber coming over guys, please clean out underneath your sink. I mean, don't make us do it. It really sucks. I've gotten to the point where if I have to clean it out guys, I just leave it out anyways, so you might as well just take it out for me. Alright guys, so when removing a P-trap from a pop-up, it's super easy. You got one nut up top, the tailpiece nut, and then you got one nut on bottom, that's the P-trap nut, the bottom part of the P-trap there. So you want to unscrew both of those nuts. If you've got a clogged line, it's probably going to pour some water out. Depending on how far out your clog is going to be how quickly your drain backs up. So if your drain's backing up immediately, guys, that tells me that your clog is right there in the pop-up, probably at the plunger. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this back nut here. This is the plunger's rod. I call this the plunger rod. So this rod is what activates the pop-up, the plunger, that pops up and down in the bottom of your sink. The plunger is the thing that, you know, keeps water from draining out when you clog it, you're shaving, or whatever reason. I never clog the sinks, but for whatever reason you guys do. So you want to pull this thing out here. Then you're going to grab the plunger up top and pull that out. See that there? Look at all that hair right there. That was 90% of their clog right there. Right there at the pop-up, guys. Could have saved themselves however much money they paid to have us out, because they're an American Home Shield customer, so they just pay a copay. It's probably like 75 bucks or something like that. And instead, they had us out to do this. That's what I want to show you guys, so you don't have to pay a plumber to do this kind of stuff for you. So then while you have the plunger out up top, you're going to want to shove something down the drain here to knock out the rest of the gunk. I have a really long screwdriver that I use, but I mean, you can roll up a paper towel. Another trick I've always done is take a few paper towels, roll it up into like a spear, and then shove it down the drain there. But as you can see, I've got a really long flathead screwdriver. A really long pair of needle nose is something else I'll use. There you go, you see my needle nose. Really long pair there. That just really helps clean the drain out. But that was where these people's clog was, right there at the good old pop-up plunger. So then what I always do is I wipe off that grime, because that's what catches that hair, is that grime there, guys. And you know what else will clean that grime right off, so you don't even have to worry about it? You boil a pot of hot water like once or twice a month. And even if you did it by like every week, you'd be even ahead of the game there. You would cut all that grime and grease right off that thing without ever having to touch it with a rag or your hands or anything. So yeah, boiling hot water, guys, it works wonders on grime and stuff like that. You want to make sure when you're putting the pop-up plunger in that little part that has the space in it for the pop-up plunger rod, you want to make sure that piece is facing back towards the pop-up plunger rod, back towards the faucet, guys. That way the rod can engage the plunger there. And I always make sure I get good action before I screw that little nut on. And I do this all without looking at it. I'm looking up top right now. I do it all one-handed by feel. And you can rotate that nut backwards. Usually what I like to do is I like to rotate it like I'm loosening it, and you'll feel it kind of pop into its grooves, and then I start to tighten it. And that way you don't strip the nut out. So there you go, there's the rest of the hair. Pulled some more hair out there. Gonna reattach the P-trap here. This was super easy, guys. You saw this is all real time, under fucking 5 minutes. This isn't something you should ever have to call a plumber for. This is something you should be able to do yourself, save yourself some cash. Or something, you know, if you got a plumber out for a bigger job, maybe ask them to take a look at your slow draining sink, but not something you should ever call a plumber out to address this type of job here. This is definitely something that any one of you could do. I don't care how handy or not handy you are. And I mean, I'm not complaining. I'll do this all day long for the money, but... Alright, so let's fire this thing off and see how it drains. Look at that, draining like a champ. That's right, guys. That is how you clear a pop-up assembly without having to call a plumber, without needing any tools other than a pair of pliers and a long screwdriver, you know, a long flathead screwdriver, some type of poking device, or a pair of long needle nose. That's all you need, guys. That's it. All right, guys, stay safe. Have a good one.